Boom shakalaka, while there is still some bearish sentiment for Bitcoin, you definitely don't want to miss out on these bullish charts. Stay tuned. What's up everyone, Randall here from Crypto Love. Today's video, we are taking a look at Bitcoin as it is sitting in this zone of indecision. Some of the best charts for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, including where price could be headed should we leave the zone of indecision. Before we get into it, guys, like the video, it helps out a lot. Also join us on Twitter at @CryptoLove, where we share all of the charts from today's video. Now, today, fear and greed at 60, down from yesterday's 63, but up from last week's 55. Seems like some indecision. The overall market sideways. Seems like some indecision. Bitcoin at 43,039, Ethereum at 2311, BNB at 301, Solana $99, XRP 50 cents, Cardano 52 cents, Avalanche $35, and Dogecoin 7 cents. And Bitcoin, you can see that since the beginning of December, which based on my count is December, January, 2 months already, has been just trading sideways in this zone between the very nice volume profile spikes at $42,000 and $44,000. And right now, hovering not only on this yellow line, the 50-day moving average, but also right on this line of support, this dotted line right here. Both of these things, the last time Bitcoin broke downwards of the 50-day moving average, it was this red line, which could bring price down to roughly 36,000. The last time it broke above the 50-day moving average, it was this green line, which could potentially bring it up to $76,000. So, very nice zone of indecision. Could potentially stay in this zone for months until we reach the halving. You can see from the bottom, my halving prediction has been right here at $40,000, the fair value price by halving. Now, if we take a look, it appears like the Grayscale sell-off is ending. It's almost over. You can see it dropping here dramatically, and we have right here spot ETF's growth rate actually plus 4,000 Bitcoin per day back into the positive. So with the sell-off abating or stopping, well, maybe the price might stop going down. We can see the on-chain value map. Now this center line right here, this is the fair value price. This is my price prediction for the halving, because if we take a look at the halving 3, Bitcoin was at the fair value price. If we take a look at halving 2, Bitcoin was just above the fair value price. And if we take a look at halving 1, Bitcoin was just above the fair value price. So if we are at or just above the fair value price by halving, well, that would be par for the course. And this chart right here, all these green areas are when Bitcoin is in the fair value zone. So generally, Bitcoin does like to spend a good amount, I would say at least half of its time, in this fair value price zone. But there are some calling for Bitcoin prices to go lower, like this. Each previous cycle, after Bitcoin hits the 61.8 fib level, it retraces to retest the 38.2 fib. This happened many times, pretty much every cycle it happened. And where is that line right now? $35,000. We could be in for price to drop just a little bit lower than it is right now. But if we take a look, well, it doesn't really matter, because whether you take a look at a linear chart, a log linear, or a log chart, Bitcoin does continue to go all up, simplifies taking a look at things. And no matter what you do, as long as you have Bitcoin in your portfolio, well, then you would be doing well. On a 5-year rolling basis, an allocation of Bitcoin would have maximized risk-adjusted returns during the past 9 years. So as long as you have some Bitcoin in your portfolio, you'd be doing well. And depending on the year, the average portfolio amount that you would have is roughly 5%, the optimal allocation. Now, you have to consider, when most people see this type of thing, they might say, well, I should put 5% of my portfolio into Bitcoin. How can I do that? Oh, spot Bitcoin ETF. Yes, please, hence Bitcoin price going up. But that's just simplifying things too much. Here's another way to simplify things. The short-term holder cost basis continues to be one of the strongest short and mid-term momentum indicators for resistance. In bear markets, it is resistance. In bull markets, it is support. Right now, we just bounced off of that. Generally, when we are close to the short-term holder cost basis, that would indicate a pretty decent time to buy. And another interesting chart, the overall cost basis and 2-year moving averages. Well, Einstein says smart people simplify things. Yes, when it's under the overall cost basis, excellent time to buy, but we are well past there. However, it should be noted that as it breaks above there, generally there is a nice 2-year all-up period of price moving up. We have not yet hit that yet. So we have some nice time for price growth coming up, because as Bitcoin breaks this 61.8 fib level, which was just resistance, well, that would be the real all-up territory bull market. Right now, 49,000 is the last line of defense, expected to fall around halving for all-up territory, because on short time frames, 4-hour candles right now, we have this nice healthy bull pennant and potentially a MACD cross. Could be a very bullish chart for Bitcoin, could push the price up a few $1,000s more. And this chart, inverse head and shoulders, actually calling for a $48,000 Bitcoin, echoing this chart right here. 49,000 is the line in the sand. This inverse head and shoulders could push price right through that level, which would push it right through the 61.8 fib, which would push it right into the next bull market. It seems like we just have liquidity grabs on either side, which is not uncommon. You can see in 2021 and 2023, this occurred as well in the sideways price movement before massive gains to the upside. We are right in the middle of it right now. Might not be a bad time to consider, because whether you take a look at the top, the bottom, wherever, Bitcoin is magnetically drawn in bull markets to this top line. Well, right now, we're just experiencing the first sell-off very early in the cycle before things start to go absolutely crazy and fun. So that's all for this episode. If you enjoyed it, push the like button. I'll catch you guys later. Have a good one. Love you. Peace.
If you don't think Bitcoin's going to $1 million a coin and then $10 million a coin, you're already a loser.
From now on, if you don't own Bitcoin, you're a moron.